Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Good morning. Good morning and welcome to Coffee Talk. Good afternoon in England. Good evening in Australia. Hello, everybody. For those of you joining us for the first time, hi, welcome. Welcome to Coffee Talk. So fun. So glad to have you. We are smack dab in the middle of the week. It is Wednesday, so happy hump day. Thank you for all your kind words about my hair. I can't take any credit for it because I got it blown out last night, and I was going to go exercise, but it is raining here in Birmingham. So this morning I decided to try the cry it out method with the dog, and I heard him at 5:20, and I said, okay, I'm not getting him till 5:30. At 5:22, he stopped whining and went back to sleep until 6:15. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, so, you know, a lot of times I struggle with things behind the scenes that I don't share with you until I've made decisions. And the reason that I don't share it with you is because sometimes part of what I'm struggling with isn't my story to tell. And so right now I'm struggling with something, and I think that I will get it sorted out in the next week or two, and then I'll be able to share with you guys. But it leads me to, hey Bill, it leads me to sort of what I want to talk to you about this morning, and it's sort of something that I am struggling with, and that is, who are you serving? The interesting thing about our lives and the decisions that we make is that we are responsible to a person of one, right? We are responsible to ourselves. We can only control our own behavior. We can only control the moves that we make and the decisions that we make. Yet most of the decisions we make are for other people. So think about that. We only have control over our own decisions, but most of the decisions we make are for other people. And more times than not, we are not serving ourselves. The decisions we make, even though we have sole control over the decisions we make, we don't make to serve ourselves. We make them to serve the opinions, the whatever of other people. I want to give you an example of myself. So I have a career. It's not great, but it's good. I'm proud of it. I've done a lot of work. In my career, I was a successful publicist. I sold and produced and starred in my own TV show on Bravo. I sold and wrote a book that did very well. I sold 5 movies. I sold a show to Twitter. I produced a digital series for Roma Downey. And I think that at 42 this week, on Sunday I'll be 42. I think that if you looked at my career, you would say, Jamie has had a decent career. I'm certainly not, I don't have the best career. I'm not Steven Spielberg, but I have a good career. I have had a lot of inner fear lately about making any changes for myself, about creating the kind of career and the choices and the life that I want to live. And I have been shortchanging myself to be beholden to other people, the opinions of other people. What will my friends think if I'm not working in this capacity? What will Coffee Talk think if I'm not doing everything? You know, there is a certain identity that comes with part of what you do. So if I wasn't doing everything that I do, if I started to work part-time and parent and be home more, would people still see my value? Would they think I was still think I'm incredible? Would they care about me? Is my self-worth tied up into my career? I don't know, right? So you have all of these fears and these voices that say, don't make decisions to serve you. Make decisions that serve other people. Now, we know the decisions we make only affect us. We know that it's always the people, with the, who have created nothing that have the loudest opinions about the shit you're trying to create for your own life. We know that. I posted on Instagram the other day. It's always the motherfuckers with no magic trying to tell you what to do with your own magic. I'm like, oh, hello. But I am as guilty of that as the next person. I know the career that I want. I know the life that works best for me. Yet I struggle to make the decisions to have that life and to do that because I am concerned about how people will perceive my professional decisions. I ask this today. Who do you serve? Who do you serve? Are you, and outside of God, because look, we can say, anybody who is a believer serves God in some capacity. So outside of God, I'm talking about here on earth, in your day-to-day life, who do you serve? When you make decisions about your life, who do you serve? Are you making decisions for you, or are you making decisions for the opinions of the people, the spectators in your life? Because I'm telling you that I am as guilty as the next person of making decisions that serve the spectators more than myself. And honestly, so some of you are saying that you serve your children, and I don't think you're understanding what I'm asking. Yes, of course, we serve our children. We serve God. That's not what I mean. I mean, when you are making personal decisions for you, are you making those decisions for you, or are you making those decisions for the spectators watching your life? That's what I'm asking. Not, do you make good decisions because you want to be a good mom and be a good role? That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you want to make changes in your life, when you want to move forward or set boundaries or do anything like that. Who are you making those decisions for? Who are you serving? Be honest. Because I realize now that we control the narrative of our lives. That is just the truth. And we will say, this is what I'm doing and this is what I want to do. And there will always be people who look at you and go, are you crazy? Always. And there will always be people who go, yes, girl, yes. Do you? Be amazing. Those are your people. Surround yourself with those people. Okay, Stephanie Everett, you find yourself searching for public approval. This is normal. Don't let anybody fool you. There are certain parts of my life where I don't give a shit what anybody thinks, my marriage being one of them. Michael and I make a lot of unconventional decisions in our marriage. People have a lot of opinions about it. We don't care. But when it comes to my career, I find that I make a lot of decisions based on serving the spectators in my life and not me. And that is something I have to work on, because that is a Jamie issue, not an anybody else issue. And I don't want to serve the spectators of my life. I want to serve me. I want to look inside and be still and really think about the life I want. I cannot be affected by the opinions or the needs or the wants of anybody else. Sure, you want to be courteous of the people that have helped you along the way, and you want to but when relationships and partnerships and whatever don't serve you anymore, it is okay to say, it's time to move on. It goes back to when God wants you to make a move, he's going to make your situation uncomfortable. And so often we stay in the discomfort because we're so afraid of what the spectators in our life will say. So we would rather stay caught in a fucking bear trap, bleeding out, arms fucking struggling, because we don't want the spectators to say shit. So we just, I'll stay in the bear trap. No. No. Because in the end, when I die, when you die, we are going to look back and say, I wish I served myself more. I wish I made decisions that were brave and that served me and allowed me to grow and pour into me to become the woman that I wanted to be before I went to meet my maker. I wish I spent less time making decisions that serve the spectators in my life. You know, I do think back to God a lot. I do. I think back to Jesus, actually. And I do think about all the people that said to him, if you could just be quiet, if you could just shut up about God, if you could just stop talking so much about it, we get it, it's your dad, you're blah, seated at the right hand, blah, blah, blah. If you could just stop talking about it, these people would stop trying to kill us and stop trying to kill you. And Jesus was like, nah, I'm going to go over here then and talk about it over here. If it bothers you here, I'm going to go over here. And he would go off to a quiet place and make the decisions that served him. And eventually the right people followed. And then some of the wrong followed, and they would say to him again, oh, you're over here. You're talking about it again. If you could just, there's a lot of God talk. If you could just take it down a notch. And Jesus would say, okay, this conversation isn't for you. And he would move to another place by himself. And the right people would follow him. And then a couple of wrong people would follow him. And this went on and on until he ended up with 12 people. The right people. I mean, that story didn't have the happiest ending, but you know what I mean. He made decisions that really served him. And as far as the spectators go, a lot of them didn't like it, but he didn't care. And so I think that when I do think about Jesus, because I try to find the parallels between God and my life, I do think about the fact that, he was making really hard decisions and he was making them for himself. And eventually he found his tribe. He found his people. And in Coffee Talk, I have found a lot of my people. I really have. Women that I would never have known. Maybe even if we knew each other, we wouldn't be friends. And now there are women in Coffee Talk and men that I love so much that I can't imagine my life without. And I just think, I found my tribe. I found my people. And if I make changes in my life that people don't agree with, some of you will fall off and some of you will ride with me till the wheels fall off. And those are my people. And you have that in your life. You have that in your life. So think about, who did you serve? Who do you serve? Something to think about. All right. I love you so much. I love you, love you, love you. 4 days till my birthday. Happy birthday to everybody whose birthday's today. Shout out to all my Libras brothers and sisters and everybody who came over to Instagram to follow me on Instagram at Jamie P. Sullivan. Jamie P. Sullivan. Cheryl Beal, I love you today. I am thinking about you. I love you guys. And let's make decisions that serve us. Let's be brave. Let's be brave. I love you. Have a great, great day.